Today I would like to talk about your why, but also I want to bring into that conversation your gut thinking or your intuitive thinking. Simon Sinek has really laid a good foundation for why and why it is important. In his book, Start with the Why, he describes the golden circle, and he says that everything starts with your emotional thinking, which navigates your how and your what, which is situated in your prefrontal cortex or your neocortex. Daniel Kahneman, in his book Thinking Fast and Slow, also described two similar ways of thinking. He calls it system 1 and system 2. So his system 1 is emotional thinking, which is slightly faster, and then system 2, which is your prefrontal cortex, which is slightly slower. Also in the book The Naked Brain, they claim that your emotional thinking, your gut intuition thinking, might be of slightly higher quality, and your prefrontal cortex thinking sometimes run a risk of being of a lower quality. And the reason for that, one of the reasons, is analysis paralysis, that you're thinking about something and you try and you want to get to the answer, but somehow you're just stuck and you don't see the answer in front of you. And this is also one of the reasons, if you look at all this information, why teachers say to you, when you do a monkey puzzle, trust your gut, go with your first answer. Because this is your intuition thinking, and this is often the correct thinking and the correct answer. Colin Powell, which is the former Secretary of State, says that he makes a decision when he only has 30% of information. So he uses that 30% and he uses his prefrontal cortex to analyze the information, but the rest of that decision he bases on his instinct and his gut. And he says more than 80% of information is just too much, because you just get, again, that analysis paralysis. It's just too much information. So it's very interesting, and I think all of this is showing that there's a very fine balance between these two systems, and between the art and between the science. Very fine balance. With regards to a business, I believe that a business owner of a smaller business can get away with, I'm trusting my gut. I think this is right and I feel this is right. You can get away with it. But as soon as you move into a bigger business or into a corporate, trusting my gut will not fly, because it's not scalable. It's not scalable. And this is why it is so important that you need to be able to define a why. This is where the why comes in, because the why that's well defined gives you an emotional context in which decisions can be made. Because it doesn't instill a lot of confidence when you say, I think it's right. I think it's right. And it's definitely not scalable when you say, I feel it's right. It's definitely closer to, I know it's right. That's what instills confidence. And that is where your why comes in, because you've got that emotional context. So this is why creating a very concise and a powerful why is so important, because it navigates your team. It navigates everyone within the company to make decisions that's in line with your why. And it's inspirational. Secondly, it navigates, it's a guardrail for your strategy and for all your tactics, because against your why determines what needs to be done. And thirdly, it also defines your market, because we don't want every client that we can get. That's hard work. We want the client that believes what we believe in. And this is when trust emerges. And this is when your company becomes successful.